Good morning, Jayme.
Hi, good morning, Marnie. Good to see you.
Welcome back to the Marne Morning Show. When we first met, you had me at I'm an interdimensional galactic being.
Oh, yes.
When
I
you said
still
that,
am.
like, I don't know who this person is, but I'm in. So why don't you just give a quick
Mhm.
introduction for yourself so people know who you are?
Okay, thank you. Well, I am still a multidimensional galactic being. That has not changed. If anything, that drives all of my different life pivots and the new one yeah, I'm in a big transition now. Last time we spoke, I was really in what you would call the abyss of the hero's journey. And I've done a lot of deep dives into the psyche. And it's led me, I'd love to say it was like a clear path, but it wasn't. But it has one door was allowed open last year for me,
Mm,
of many doors explored. And the one door that allowed me to walk through
mm,
gently, and
mm,
it's still a new journey for me, but one that I know is clear is the journey of sound and the
mm,
music. And the
mm.
message that keeps dropping in is follow the music. Truly the source, and this makes sense of why I've embarked on this journey of quantum physics, because I want to understand the mechanics of how everything works. And so what I recognize is that sound is a product of vibration moving through matter.
Mm.
And so sound is the fundamental creation of reality. And so I've spent the greater part of my life seeking my purpose, and I knew that I would know it when it arrived. And then I called it, and I manifested. I created a vision, I manifested it happened. And I knew that I had found my purpose. And that was not everything prior to that was me seeking my purpose. Then I found my purpose. And I moved my life over to Europe, super clear, clearer than I'd been about anything in my life. Moved to Europe only to turn around and move back unexpectedly, ship
Yeah.
all of my 40-foot container of personal items from one side of the world, literally, to the other.
Right.
Come back, be in such a state of fluctuation and loss and shedding,
Hmm.
to move the remaining items that I had to Malibu to have it all
Yeah.
burned down.
I'm glad we can talk about it now because I know this is very traumatic experience for many people. Many people are still,
Yeah.
experiencing the trauma of losing all the things and it's you have such an amazing grace about you to go through such an experience and to come out on the other side and have a realization that that needed to happen, like all the things needed to burn down in order for you to really create what what you're meant to do. Maybe you could break it down for us, like a little bit of the science, like what is going on in my body when I go through this sound journey. And then also for the people that have never been to a sound healing or sound bowl experience, maybe you could just describe a little bit, like what is this and
Hmm.
what would they expect?
Speak specifically to what's happening in a sound experience. We call them sound baths. We call them sound healings. There's lots of names for it, and it's becoming very popular, and for good reason. It's becoming almost as popular as yoga now, and a lot of studios are bringing it in. So the way I was trained and what we do specific to the sound baths is we take you on a journey, and I love the shamanic aspect of it because the
Mhm.
shamans are and have had a long-standing lineage of connection to divine divinity and higher intellectual connection to divinity. And so even through their own practice, they understand the connection of sound and how it's moving energy in the body. And
Mhm.
so, what I love to do is, like you said, take people on a journey and really curate something that's reaching them and touching all of the senses and sound. When we begin, we do a little meditation work and breath work, which is really important because that's the way that we manage life force in the body. Depending on the audience, sometimes I'll touch in really on the physics and the science of sound. I have people that are very interested in that. So much so I'm going to spin off a workshop around the physics and science of sound, because that can be its own thing. So
Mhm.
we'll initiate and we'll come in after a little breath work, and we'll come in with some shamanic drumming. We come in with instruments that are intended to create disharmony in the body. So we'll use gongs. So when
Mm.
the sound comes in, it's coming in and it's touching all of your different organs through the vibration, right? And it's regulating the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. Oh yeah, It's like,
Let's go.
so it's so exciting, and I really do get really passionate and worked up about it, which
Yeah.
signals resonance, right? It signals
Right.
you're in there and you're doing what's pure and true and authentic. Like
How
what
long do these sound baths last?
So I really love to spend a good 15-20 minutes initiating journey going in,
Mhm.
and then an hour for the sound bath, and then some time to come out, bring you back to, because you're really like intoxicated with sound when you come out. I really want to encourage people to think about this as a regular practice. I really am all about mixed modality. So the yoga, especially a yin yoga with a sound and
Mhm.
breath work,
Mhm.
I would say is really a trifecta. That's something
Yeah,
that I'm
very
looking to do with,
powerful.
collaborate with. And then another thing that I've been doing that I think is kind of unique and also key is mixing in light therapies
Mm.
with sound healing and breath work. So I was actually in process of putting on a wellness retreat, a 2-day festival for Malibu, which I think I will still do. I think Malibu and the LA residents will appreciate that when everything comes back online. But it's called Open for Joy, and I have all of these links in my website. We can talk about that in a moment. And I would love for people to come in, let me know what they're interested in. That will help me also steer once I know kind of what people are resonating with, and I can focus my energy on those offers. But yeah, lots of fun things ahead.
When's your next sound bath?
Actually just started a spring sound bath series. So I'm going to do a spring and summer sound bath series in the park in Marina Del Rey Burton Chase Park, which is centrally located in LA for those that like we get stuck in our bubbles. I really encourage you to come out. I have another sound artist coming out with me who's also a yogi. We'll be working together. We have gongs, we have crystal bowls, shamanic instruments, and it's set by the sea with the birds and the flapping of the sails and the sea lions, and it's in a park setting. It's really beautiful. So I'm doing those throughout April and May, and then
Mhm.
we'll move those to sunset hour for June and July. So
Is that
to
through
do it.
Eventbrite, or how do they book a ticket?
So through Eventbrite, which is accessible on my website. My website is bodhibliss.life. We're asking for donations to help
Uh-huh.
us keep this going, to help us cover our fees and make it be a sustainable event. But I was doing sound baths in Malibu, and I know there's a couple sound healers that were doing sound baths in Malibu, and of course, all of those have been halted. So I think it's important that we have sound
Mhm.
healing going on. And so please come out, share with your friends. I'd love to meet you in person.
Well, it's
Mhm.
always a pleasure hanging out with you, Jayme. We're going to say goodbye to our audience now. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Make
Come
sure to
join me.
Jamie's sound healing experience. Okay, we love you. See you. Bye.
Bye.